All right, we'll call this meeting to order. First thing, review and approve May 28, 2024 minutes.
Second.
All in favor?
I move we approve the warrant as written.
Second.
All in favor? Hey, Mary.
Hey, Lee.
I know, well, no, I waited in my car. I really wanted to but and then she said we could go vote,
Oh, yeah.
so I had to get out and vote.
Yeah, to get involved, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so here I am.
Really accept that.
And I'm sure you didn't wait for me.
Next thing, read and approve updated IRC proposal and contract for community center roof repair.
Yeah, I've looked it over, you know, it's kinda, is what it is type of situation. I'm happy that they can do it all.
Yeah.
The repair and the roof
There's a lot of,
itself, so,
damage there.
I move we go with it as written.
Second.
All in favor?
This is an updated proposal. Originally, they had proposed that we do part of it, and they do part of it. And, Dale convinced me to do it all.
Well, good, thank you.
Yeah. Would you like
Putting
to?
the conscious arm of the leg,
Kinda,
kind of.
arm and a half away.
What are you gonna do?
That's just it, that's why I said it is what it is. I
Yeah.
mean, we put it out to bid 1,000,000 times.
I know,
I know if I was gonna quote it, I'd be comparable to that,
okay,
so
Okay.
I'm not,
It's gonna keep going up and up and up and
not
up.
concerned about their price. They're a reputable company, and
okay.
they'll get it done right.
It's hard to coordinate two contracts
Sure,
on site. This way, one contractor is responsible for the whole thing.
Yeah, otherwise it's always physical.
Yeah.
what's that?
Wait, you're holding me up.
MMA risk management finding for the old municipal garage.
I see that the other day, we rushed it, does it, what is that about?
No, he has been.
Yeah, I know, but,
Is that the old school?
Yes, yes. Yeah,
I would love to buy that.
yeah.
Can you do it?
Do what?
I would love to buy that school, it was re-erected over on my property, but Kenny won't do it.
Oh.
It's the old school in West Baldwin?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Used to
Oh,
be
wait,
school.
used to be school, yeah,
I love that building.
yeah.
Got the tin roof. Or the tin
It's
ceiling.
ceiling, yeah. Yeah.
So, we've talked about this a number of times. Prior to the board, we looked at selling it when we were liquidating a lot of town property. And the consensus was probably not a good idea because there might be contaminated soil from fire department activity in there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't think anything we ever talked about was just demolishing the building. And, you know, that might be the option, is that it's,
So structurally, it's getting bad.
I haven't been in to see it.
I don't know, it's been a while since I've been.
We could go in and take a look.
Yeah.
We can't insure it, is what, so we can insure it for some kind of cash value, is that what he said?
Well, what his assessment was that he felt that the sills and the foundation were bad, so it was causing the walls to bulge and the ceilings to droop.
Oh.
So it would take an incredible amount to, you know, to bring it back to where it was feasible to insure, I think from his, if you read between the lines. So he's gonna do a report and send it off to underwriting. I asked him, typically, I wanted to know what happens in these types of situations, and he said that, lots of times they'll order an engineering study, if it's something that's salvageable, or they will drop it, so it won't be covered, or they'll do cash value only. But he said that, he did not want to speak on behalf of the underwriters, you know, so he was just kind of generalizing from his experience. So I said, well, what do you do in this type of case? So that's what he explained to me. So I don't know if somebody would be interested in dismantling it, where it sounds like it has some
It will be.
historical
Yeah.
value as a school/fire department. I don't know if it's something the historical society or somebody would be interested in.
Well, the thing of it too is that, you know, if there's any lumber in there that's old, a lot of people really want that old, the old beams,
Right,
the old
yeah,
lumber, the
yeah.
old, you know, it's just a thought, you know, it just, I didn't realize that it was still all gone. And if I were younger, and I convinced Kenny, we could do it, we got a sawmill, we could cut through, you know, timbers and all that sort of thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I can't convince him to do that,
No, yeah.
you know, I guess I don't blame him, I mean,
I couldn't convince myself to do it.
yeah, it's just, I'm too old, I'm too old.
Guess I would say if we're gonna go the route of demolish, and then why not go with that idea and see if somebody's willing to pay us, take it down.
There are people that want those sorts of
Yeah,
buildings.
of course,
yeah.
The guy down on Route 1 does
Yeah.
buildings. The Japanese are famous for doing this sort of thing,
The old naughty beams
Yep,
and,
exactly.
who knows how wide the boards are
right?
on the roof, you know?
Yeah.
I've been into some of the old places with a 24-inch board on the roof, you know, that's,
Yeah.
so.
Probably hand hew timber.
I don't know if they would pay us to take it, but they
No,
might
not that
take it.
old, okay.
It all depends, you know?
Depends,
Yeah.
yeah, depends.
Get the right person.
Yeah.
Let's see, but I wouldn't be surprised if it's early 1900s.
Yeah.
Not all that old.
Yeah.
Really, you don't think it's that old?
I say, I would be surprised if it's earlier than the early 1900s.
Yeah, I would think it would be late 1800s, maybe. Yeah.
It didn't look like it to me, but.
I don't know.
That was used for the longest time for the tractor ship, for the big plow that they had,
Yeah.
the all tractor.
I think that's the problem of selling it, it's contaminants in the ground where they change the oil.
Is it dirt floor, or has it got a floor in it, is what I'm asking, I guess?
Wooden.
Anyway,
So we wait to come back, see what the insurance guy says, I guess, if he's done.
I'll see if I can get some info on
There's a program on
On the
TV,
video.
Barnwood Builders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah, me too, they take old
They do a
barns,
nice
tear them
job.
down and rebuild them as houses and stuff.
Yeah, and they're gonna do that over here in South Hiram, they're taking down the old school there, some, what is it, 106, 108, whatever. And they're gonna re-erect it over there on the fairgrounds.
Oh, yeah, that's so cool.
Maybe they'd be interested. South Hiram,
Right?
yeah.
Yeah.
would like to purchase it, what's left of it, the other half of it?
Well, there's a quarry part of
The
it,
quarry part.
I think is what they're interested in, right? You know, we've got that study that was done back in 2017 or 18 that looked at the operation. Because we required them to restore, I think, phase 1 or phase 2.
Yep. Yep.
Part of what they're supposed to do annually is submit a report. And, they quit doing it, after the town took them to court. And I don't think we received one. And I think they're a requirement of the conditional use permit. So the question is, has the permit expired? It's something I guess we could ask David Gorey. He would just love to tie into it.
He put a lot of money on that place.
Have they hauled any material out of there in the last 2 years?
Well, I think every time you'd ask if they hauled any, they would say, I took a truckload out last year or something. And, Don Kent might have mentioned that somebody got a load from there last year. But
CUP wouldn't be transferable anyway, would it? It would be.
It runs with the land.
does.
All CUPs run with the land.
Even, so.
Yep.
But, and you know, this is it's a requirement, the annual reports are a requirement where they, tell us what they've done in the last year.
Yeah. I would think, yeah.
So, we haven't received any.
If they take a pickup truck with a load of sand, we should know about it.
Well, we should get a report as to
Report on
what
it.
they've done down there.
Right.
But I'll look at the CUP again if I can, and see exactly what it says, but, that's one of the things that we, hammered them on when we took them to court. Was that their annual reports were not accurate. They were just being, penciled off and sent in by Sebago Technic. It was clear that they didn't actually go out and do a survey and report what had been done.
No. Now, if they're doing any, because we plan on doing any blasting, they all go to solar panels. You know, yeah.
And all other issues.
No, yeah.
So was Mayetta under a quarry, CUP? They could have one?
They ran a quarry operation, yeah. Have you been
And
down?
that was before we had our no quarry after Gorham Sand Gravel started going on Brown Road.
Yeah.
Okay. So it was before that, they got grandfathered in.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know the shopper, I know they're desperate for rocks. You know, they don't have a quarry, they're buying their rocks, you know, that's kind of what they wanted to do on Sheep Mountain, so.
Oh.
Obviously Darren's looking for any avenue we can get to get some rocks for their business and aggregates. So, he will be aggressive about it, I can guarantee it, as much as he can, yeah.
I'll look at the CUP and then, report back.
Okay. Reminders, planning board meeting this Thursday at 7:00. Tri-Town meeting next Monday, the 17th, 7:00. South Island. Joe, you got me? Nope. Okay. Thank you. Kathy?
No.
Mary? There you go. There you go. No? You, sir?
No, I'm just come to spend some time, that's all, I just wanted to see what's going on.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
I don't live near Head of Summer.
Oh, okay. Yep. Bruce? Chad? All set? Fine.
Robin?
Did you see the email for Thursday at 4 with Heather Horton for the beach
I
attendance?
haven't seen that one yet.
No,
Did you?
no.
You just sent it out, okay.
Yeah.
When is it, Thursday?
Thursday
Thursday,
at 4, but you'll wanna double check, I'm pretty sure it's the Thursday
This
at
Thursday.
4.
And I won't make it, I'll probably be taking a hang, so.
So 2 out of 3? Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, 2 hours ago, I checked it before that. 6:15 at 4 o'clock, okay. Bob, you got it? Dale?
I just wanna reiterate what I brought up in the past, and, people have told me when I brought it up that SMPDC is a valuable commodity for us to have. Personally, I haven't seen it, they basically just guide us to whatever state mandate there is, tell us how to comply. We spent a lot of money there lately. It doesn't seem like, it just seems like a compliance place, not like a place that's gonna fight for what the town might want. I know it's always been done in the past, but
I understand the point of view. But I think it's the town has to fight for a lot.
yeah.
And the value that they have is, a lot of these ordinances, these land use ordinances are very complex.
Mhm.
And so they've done them for a number of,
Yeah, I think it's fair.
so they know
Yeah.
the technicalities of them, but it's really, there's options within that the town can exercise and how they wanna do it. And
Well,
that's
and
what we need to do is to be
Yeah.
able to
that's
say,
what I was wondering, if it would be better to spend our money on somebody that would advocate for, whether anybody likes it or not, we're a country is set up as a republic, and it's going more towards socialism every day of just mandating this, mandating that, we do exactly what they say. We spent 10,000, she wants more on these 3 ordinances. And they're all basically, the LD 2003 is just compliance with what the state wants. The rudimentary research I did, there is ways in the language to not implement 2003, the way they wrote it. I'm not a lawyer,
Right.
so as a town, we wanna go that route, or we wanna just comply until the end of time,
I don't know how you don't comply. There's, I think we mentioned before, there are state statutes out there that we're not in compliance with, but nobody's coming down and, putting a thumb on us saying, that you're not in compliance. I think for the most part, the intent is to comply with state statute. Usually where we don't is because things have run out of date, they haven't kept up with new laws and stuff. But there is, I don't know where there are ways to not comply with LD 2003, but I do know that there's a lot of ways to minimize the impact.
Well, from what I'll just read you a little paragraph that I pulled out, and I haven't been down through the LD 2003 full text law yet. So, in all the deliberations after they passed it and then had to go back and rework it, they added language that said, so they added a poison pill to the recommendations allowing cities and towns to avoid enacting attracted them through convoluted loopholes. One of them is, the wordage says, to accommodate the varied needs, contacts, and constraints faced by Maine municipalities. And that allows every town to decide that their land use isn't to blame for the housing crisis. It's just a sentence that puts a loophole in it. So that's how they got it passed, saying that it was a statewide crisis, but then added that language saying that if you can convince municipalities
That their ordinances did not cause.
it's not our ordinances that cause the housing crisis.
Right.
I'll have to look and see. So what are you reading from?
This one was from, there's actually somebody that was against the towns. It was from it's a Townsman article.
So it's from MMA.
Huh?
From MMA. The Townsman is an MMA.
Is it?
Yeah, that's, I think what you got right in front of you, right there.
Yeah, this is a screenshot of it. There was a lot of language to it, but.
Yeah, Joe.
I'd like to support what Dale's getting at, and that is that there is no conservative Southern Maine blah, blah, blah. This is not a conservative organization we're dealing with. Dale is correct.
Wow.
And there's no conservative organization to go to.
Right. That even wants to fight it at
Right.
all. Right.
Play the edge maybe a little bit closer.
Find loopholes in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you may be right, Dale, that what we need is to hire a lawyer. And maybe there's a lawyer out there who has done this work for other towns who don't like what's going on.
I've looked at a few lawyer websites, and, you know, just by the way it's set up and the cases they take, it's a lot of them you want to avoid, because they're kind of the same, more the same. There was somebody up in Augusta that, you know, they branched out and they did cover this area, and it seemed like they were willing to fight for towns that didn't want this. I mean, maybe everybody in town wants it. We'll find out when the bill comes out, when the public hearing is, but,
Yeah.
you know, speaking for myself and who I know in town, it seems we should be fighting it instead of complying with it. And by Kayla's own admission, Michaela's, there's over 100 towns that haven't done anything yet. You know, yet we're in a rush to get it done by July 1st. And why did them 100 towns not do it? Maybe they're just throwing an FU to the state, you know?
Mm.
So it's, like I said, it just bothers me, the rush to compliance and just everything written so you can comply with a mandate, nothing that tells you that there's ways around it, you know? So,
Well, we can ask our lawyer, if you can find the reference
mhm.
that you have, send it to me.
Yeah, I can send it, I was actually gonna try to find the wordage in the LD 2003 that
Yeah,
had the loopholes that I'm talking about, because Portland rewrote their whole code. And they made it so confusing for people that it almost makes the LD 2003 moot in Portland, you know?
I don't know. From what I've read, it sounds like they're implementing the intent of LD 2003, it's just a question of, scheduling. But it sounded to me like they're going back to, in neighborhoods that were single-family dwellings, they can now have multi-story, multi-unit ADUs, back to the way it used to be, the 1800s, I guess.
Needs to be a lot more people.
And so you could pack more people in the same space, but I don't know,
You know, I get the world growing.
Huh?
I get the world growing and everything, but it's
Yeah,
gonna be,
yeah, so I don't know Portland what they're doing if they're just ignoring it, but yeah,
No, they rewrote their whole code system, it's like hundreds of pages, they call it a
Yeah.
recode.
Well,
Yeah.
we're kinda doing
And
the
then you
same
can make
thing.
three, because if you had one, you gotta tear that one down, and then you gotta make three all at once. So they're making it so hard for people to do it, that a lot of people ain't gonna do it. So, there's ways to,
Yeah,
I think, you know, if we had to, you know, a lawyer mind, which is not me, I just pull out excerpts and,
well, let's dig it out and see,
yeah,
I tried arguing with, the girls, Michaela and the other, Hannah, and, they came all over me that, we needed this, this was the only way to go, because there wasn't enough housing, and they were just arguing the cause.
mhm.
And so I didn't have, I ended up with not a lot of confidence that they were looking out for all of us.
And that's what I get from SMPPC, you know what I mean? Yeah, great, they're a legal resource, but, you know, they know more than like a normal municipality might know, but is it stuff you wanna know, or is it stuff that, you know, maybe we ought to find somebody that's gonna advocate for the smaller town rather than, cause we spend a lot of money on them, you know, 10,000, they want more, you know, $10,000 for the lawyer really doesn't go a long ways, but maybe somebody that's had some experience in it could,
like I said, we kinda have to advocate for ourselves.
yeah, we're just gonna get run over, and that's the whole idea behind it.
And, I think the approach that was taken with LD 2003 was to make it as close to what we currently have. Which is a house on a 2-acre lot.
Just add another one, you know.
If you want another house on your lot, you gotta have another 2 acres there, you know, and, the only thing it does away with, which makes me a little uneasy, is you no longer have to subdivide.
Yeah, it doesn't go against the growth ordinance at all, add another one, you know. It doesn't go against the growth count at all, and add an ADU.
No, an ADU doesn't, but other houses do. And, but, you know, it's up to the town to decide how it wants to address it, and I think what's been drafted is conservative within the wording of the law, but if there's a way that we can just say, forget about it, we ought to explore it.
Yeah, and, you know, whenever I get a chance, I look.
Yeah.
And, you know, with that convoluted language, it intrigued me, you know, falling around this, so I kept reading. And as I read, there was op-eds of people that were like really mad at Portland for doing it, you know, they want it, they want it, they want it. Well, probably mostly developers, but, it seemed like they'd wait around it the way that, you know, it was this convoluted language from the state, it was rushed through, there's no enforcement on it. Over 100 towns haven't done anything on it.
Well, that's what she said. She said that
That's what she said that night.
She said they haven't implemented it yet.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they're doing, but
Yeah.
I think I've seen ads in the local newspaper that most of the surrounding towns have had
They're
public
caving
hearings.
in, they're caving in on it, yeah.
The public hearings on it.
Yeah. I just don't wanna get to that point of every other town, you know? My opinion on it.
Take a look.
Yeah, I'll do a little bit more research on it, I'll try to find the language that I'm looking for in the LD 2003. It's funny, you go to the SMPDC website and go to the full text law on LD 2003, it doesn't come up with anything, it comes up with a blank page. Which is fine, whatever, maybe the link's bad, maybe,
I've got it, I can send it to you.
Yeah.
And then there's another document that was put out by the state, which is the implementation. Which is, you know, the bureaucrats say, now here's the law, this is how we're gonna implement it. And there's a fairly substantial document on how that goes.
And like any of this is gonna change Baldwin overnight, but that's not the idea of it, it's always a slow process. Immediately, they implement this, and then 10 years down the road it changes, and then 20 years from now, when we're all gone, Baldwin will be unrecognizable,
Yeah,
which
absolutely.
I care for my kids, that's the only reason, you know.
That's how the growth limits got implemented, the state
Right,
said do it.
exactly. Exactly. So, we'll see how the, public hearing goes on it. How informed people are on it, I don't know, maybe everybody wants it, I don't know. Personally, I don't. So I just had to throw it out there. Is it?
Good. Robin, did the Sanborn committee request the ad in the paper for meeting Thursday night? I just saw it on my phone, that it's supposed to have a meeting Thursday night, I haven't. I saw Ben last time, so I haven't been advertised, okay.
No, I don't know anything about it,
Okay.
sorry.
Yeah, no, that's fine, they haven't, let you know about it, and that's it.
Yeah, if we had, so it's this Thursday,
Yeah,
they're gonna say it's,
I'll text Ben.
because we don't have to rely as heavily on the shopping guide now. If I had had a bit more
Right,
heads up, I could have done it at least on the,
on Facebook and.
Webpage, yeah.
Yeah. That's all I have. Any motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
All in favor?